Oops. Welcome to the Eureka Street Crypto Podcast. Good morning. I'm Eureka John, and welcome back to the Eureka Street Crypto Podcast. Once again, I am up in the morning broadcasting all types of crypto trash and little nugs of crypto treasures that I find at the bottom of the metawebs. And I do this every single morning. This is what I do. I wake up and this is me taking my dump in the morning. My brain dump, that is. And yes, it is November. No, November. It's not November. it's January 11th, 2022. I do this every single morning. It's 6:35 a.m. in this morning. I try to stay regular on the time, but I do this daily and I don't get paid for it. So I just, do it when I get up, and a lot of times it's before I have to work. So yeah. That's what it is. This is not educational. It's just entertainment. It's not financial advice and all that stuff. I'm not some kind of technical analyst. I'm not a financial analyst. I'm just a dude with a camera talking about crypto every single morning. So take it for what it is. Anyway, you heard me coughing. I'm just getting over this Rona. My wife has it now. I don't want to sit around and tell everybody I got, the corona and all that stuff, because a lot of people are like wearing it like a badge of honor, like it's an amazing attention getting device. But honestly, 2 years ago, I got a vaccine for you. It's called NyQuil, and 2 years ago, I would have just taken NyQuil and just been over it and hunkered down for a few days. Honestly, it feels like kind of stopping drinking after being kind of physically addicted for a while. And that's terrible. It sucks. Believe me. I've been there, and it's not a laughing matter at all. You feel like this sense of it's real sensitive skin, vertigo, disorientation, not just like some frat boys, saying, oh, I got a headache, I ate some chicken noodle soup the next day. No, I'm talking about like real physical addiction. And if you are going through that, I'm really sorry. That really sucks. And, feel free to reach out to me. I can, try my best to kind of, point you in the right direction or talk you through it or something like that if you're trying to quit drinking on a daily basis. Yeah, that's a serious matter. But anyway, my point is that's kind of how the old Rona feels to me right now. And you got to give it a few days, and it takes about a little while to get through it, and it sucks, but you do, and life goes on. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. My wife is going through that too, so I'm working from home today, and I know there's cases out there with people who have it breaks off into some other issues and all that stuff, and everybody says that they know somebody and they bring up some anecdote and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, I'm talking generalities here. All right. All right. Well, anyway, let's go on to the old CoinGecko, because this show is about crypto. It's not about the Rona. All right. So it is, yes, Tuesday, episode 385. So I'm getting close to episode 400. I've considered maybe taking a break for like, a month at episode 400. I don't know. What are your thoughts? And also I've been thinking of like trying to pinpoint this show and really kind of point it towards like some kind of specific purpose rather than just being me documenting my crypto journey. I think I have documented so far very well my crypto journey. If you've looked back at my earliest videos from October 25th, 2020, you'll see me as somebody who was nervous in front of the camera honestly, it when you first put a webcam on yourself and you're trying to talk and you know that this is going out to the world, you get a little nervous. It's weird, even though nobody's in the room with you or whatever. You saw that guy and that guy as well, not really knowing anything about the crypto space. Not that I know a ton about the crypto space now, but I know more than I did then. I know enough to be able to hold a conversation about it for sure. But yeah, it's come a long ways, but I think it's come to the point where it's beyond just me kind of exploring, my daily journey in crypto every day. This is to me kind of become like a morning show, where I pick out certain topics. I'm not sitting here trying to explore some of like the super fundamentals anymore, like what is blockchain and what is a consensus mechanism. I'm looking at certain little nuggets and treasures that I find, some weird oddities in the crypto space, like a morning show does. And so that's kind of how I'm trying to, I guess, think about it. And I've titled the tagline "Morning Crypto Trash and Treasures." If you can kind of think up some kind of interesting tagline, I think I will maybe try to. I think I might out on Twitter put a bounty out on maybe some logo updates, maybe some kind of taglines, some kind of copy editing, because obviously the copy editing in my channel description talking about sitting in a toilet stall next to somebody else and after pooping out the Taco Bell token, yeah, that doesn't really market that well. Or maybe it does, I don't know, but yeah, that's up to you guys. Let me think about this. Let me just think about this. Anyway, so let's go to CoinGecko and see what we have going on here. We got some green today in the past 24 hours, which is pretty cool, man. Bitcoin's at 41,995 and 41 cents. I know we're gonna get a bunch of green boners today for sure. Ethereum is 300. No, it's $3,133.89, up 1%. And Tether's stablecoin is at $1, not 99 cents. Yay! And let's see, Binance coin is at 451.14. Now let me think about this. I always have a hard time with this. When stable coins are down to 99 cents, what does that mean? So that must mean that there's an abundance of stable coins in supply, which means that people are selling off their stable coins and buying in. Yeah. I always get this backwards, and maybe because the market was low, people were buying in. I don't know. Anyway, so and then USDC is at number 5, and that's at $1 even. Solana, 136.66. Cardano is $1.15. XRP, 74 cents, at 0.2, up 0.2%. It looks like everything's just starting to really kind of go up. Polkadot, as a 24.21, and then number 10 is Terra, at 72.50, up 5.1%. Avalanche, slightly down because it did go on a little spike there. It's back down to 86.42. So if you are Avalanche heavy and you like Avalanche, it might be a good time, because I remember last time when Avalanche jumped down to $77 and then it jumped up to like $127 within a couple days. I wished I would have bought Avalanche then. Right now I'm kind of broke because it's after Christmas, so I can't really be buying jack squat except for groceries and gas. So I'm not going to participate in this dip. I wish I could, but if you are in the position to, then it might be a good time to do it. Although it's not financial advice, But I mean, Avalanche is looking pretty low on the average. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that is coming out on Avalanche right now. So Dogecoin, 15 cents. And the Shiba Inu got passed up by Polygon. So Polygon's making moves. I know I talked a couple days ago about Polygon getting kind of clogged up in kind of the CryptoKitties way, like a CryptoKitties NFT platform did with Ethereum back in 2017 and really exposed a lot of the vulnerabilities of the system. Well, the same kind of scenario kind of happened a little bit, not quite to that extent, but it happened a little bit on the Polygon platform with the Sunflower game, in which the Sunflower game was taking up a good 2/3 of all the gas transaction fees and causing the Polygon gas fees to go pretty high, relatively speaking. I mean, obviously, it's still going to be a lot less than Ethereum. But, it just goes to show that once you start getting enough traffic on any blockchain, regardless of the finalization times and everything like that, the settlement times, that they brag about. Sure, Solana brags about these lightning speed settlement times and everything like that. But what happens if everybody in the world starts using Solana like they are Ethereum? And what happens when some of that VC money starts to run out and stuff like that? Then they'll be stuck right in the exact same place Ethereum is. So, everybody pointing the finger, calling Ethereum clunky and trash. No, Ethereum is trying to deal with the massive amount of people that they have trying to use it. You don't see any other blockchain with that amount of people trying to use it. I don't even think Bitcoin. So you go to transactionstreet.org and you'll see the amount of traffic of people trying to use Ethereum. So yeah, and that's why we have all these layer 2s out and everything like that. So Shiba Inu is below Polygon. So Polygon jumped in between the two doggies. And hopefully Polygon will jump ahead of Dogecoin and move on up. I like Polygon. I'm a big fan of the Polygon platform. Chainlink is at number 16, up 14.7%. All right, anyway, so enough with the rankings and stuff like that. I know I was talking about layer 2 solutions. Here's a little website, L2Beat. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But L2Beat, I think I like rankings platforms. We have DeFi rankings, right? So, okay, we have, these coin rankings right here. We have CoinGecko is what I use. There's CoinMarketCap, which is like the most popular one, and the biggest one. There is CoinPaprika, CoinCodex. There's a few others, and they rank, the coins. They can also rank according to DeFi. Let's see what CoinGecko has to say about DeFi rankings. So top 100 DeFi coins by market cap. So Terra is number 1 DeFi ranked coin. Chainlink is, I don't know. Yeah, Chainlink, I guess, is, Chainlink is an oracle, and an oracle helps to funnel information from the real world to the blockchain, like sports scores, stock prices, weather data, road data, things like that, and it funnels it into the blockchain, and that's what an oracle does. It's kind of like a middleware in between, the real world and the blockchain. So that's not it's not the type of DeFi stuff I'm talking about. The DeFi stuff I'm talking about are like Aave here, that's yeah, so Uniswap. But so anyway, that's why I go to things like DeFi Llama right here. It shows, this shows DeFi rankings: Curve, Convex, MakerDAO, Aave, WBTC, Lido, Instadap, Anchor, Compa. So it shows that Curve is the number 1 total value locked in DeFi. There's a whole lot going on with Curve right now that I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out Convex Finance and its relationship with Curve and Redactive finance and stuff like that. There's a whole mess of money-making opportunity there that I have not been able to figure out. I need some coaching on that pretty badly. But I will sit my butt down at some point whenever I'm fully done with all this, highly publicized virus going through my house. So yeah. And then so there's DeFi Llama, and then there's DeFi Pulse. People seem to be either one camp or the other. Yay team DeFi Pulse, yay team DeFi Llama. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Some people say that DeFi Pulse is very skewed and bent towards one side of things. I don't know. I don't get into I'm not involved in that conversation at all. So I'll let you go on Twitter and argue about it. So but yeah, so there's 2 sources here, so you can look and compare as to the total value locked and try to decide which DeFi apps are right for you. And then over here we have L2Beat, and L2Beat is not really DeFi, but it's layer 2 solutions. And Ethereum obviously has its problems, being a layer 1 solution. Right now it's clogged up. We're working on Weird. Like it's like people that believe in that watch football. I mean, I watch football too, but like my team, I guess, is the Houston Texans because I grew up in Houston. So, yeah, during halftime, yeah, we're losing, because the quarterback just can't really get together and complete any passes right now. Using this term "we're," like I play for the Houston Texans. And I see people do this all the time, especially Cowboys fans. And yeah, no, it's not weird. You're sitting on a couch at home. So anyway, uh, so let's see where we are in the market. Yeah, Ethereum. I just identified myself as part of the Ethereum community. So in Ethereum, we are dealing with some issues with scalability, in which gas prices are high because so many people are wanting to use the network, and the meme pool is the place, kind of the waiting area, where a lot of the transactions gather in order to be added to the block, and in proof of work um, algorithms and proof of work mining, which is what Ethereum is right now. Miners, they run the mining programs on their computers, but then they have to pick transactions to put on the blocks, and the transactions with the highest gas fees are what gets put on the blocks first. So if the higher gas you pay, your transaction will be prioritized. And fair or not fair, it is what it is. But when there's a lot of people, it causes those gas prices to go high, and the network gets clogged because there's only so much room to put on the blocks, and only so many blocks you can do per minute or whatever. So um, where was I going with that? So yeah, layer one is being phased in to not layer one. Ethereum 1.0 is being phased into Ethereum 2.0, even though the Ethereum community, the Ethereum Foundation, don't like to call it Ethereum 2.0. They're trying to make it more of a modular Ethereum blockchain rather than one big monolithic. So think about it like this. You have a computer chip, and you have one computer chip that takes care of everything, and you have Moore's law, where it will continue to scale up, with speed, and you just keep on adding more transistors, and the size of it will grow. It can only grow so far, or you can only fold a piece of paper so many times before it becomes too hard to fold, and at that point it fails. um, so we're kind of, I guess, possibly getting to that place in blockchains. So we did it with computer chips, and I know nothing about this. This is me kind of trying to fumble through and talk about this. But what they did, and I believe AMD did this, is they created one computer chip, but they split it off into different tasks, and they created one mini chip in the middle that controlled a bunch of various different function oriented chips surrounding it. So you say, for instance, you have one chip in the middle and four other chips around it that controlled other various functions that the main processor does. And so we're trying to kind of do blockchains that way as well, in which the main blockchain focuses on, let's just say, for conversation, execution, right? And then you have data settled on another layer, and then you have some other functions settled on other layers, and there's various functions that happen whenever a blockchain transaction is done. It's not just about a transaction. There's a lot of different functions that happen. So they split apart all those different transactions into various layers, so they're not all being done on one, I guess, one swoop and one block, I guess. I'm having a hard, it's not coming out right, but that's my best way to try to describe it. So they're modularizing a lot of these functions, basically, in order to make this happen. So it's not really, I guess, Ethereum 2.0 going to proof of stake, but it's an entire overhaul of how the blockchain transaction happens. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But in the meantime, they have layer 2 solutions, and layer 2 solutions are these other chains, I guess, that are connected to the Ethereum blockchain, and they settle on the Ethereum blockchain, but they take some of those functions off, and and they do them offline. And for instance, they might bundle up some of these transactions and do the computation over on the side, and then it settles it on the Ethereum blockchain. And that's kind of what Arbitrum does with optimistic rollups. And then you have DYDX as an exchange, the ZK rollups. So look, here's the total value locked. The most total value locked in Layer 2 solutions is on Arbitrum. And DYDX second. Loopring is number third. I wouldn't have thought that. Yeah, and so yeah, Polygon Hermes is all the way down here. So Polygon Hermes is not exactly the same as Polygon. So I guess one of the major stinks is some people consider Polygon to be more of a side chain rather than a Layer 2. I don't know. I'm not going to jump in that debate, but something interesting to talk about. And here's Boba Network. I've heard a lot about that. And let's go take a quick look at the Boba Network website and see what we got going on here. Not your average tea party. It's a boba party. Introducing the Ethereum Layer 2 boba network. Lower gas, faster, secured by Ethereum. Built on boba. Start using boba. Token info. So let's see here real quick. About boba. Boba is a next generation Ethereum Layer 2 optimistic rollup scaling solution that reduces gas fees, improves transaction throughput, and extends the capabilities of smart contracts. Boba offers fast exits backed by community-driven liquidity pools, shrinking the optimistic roll-up exit period from 7 days to only a few minutes. So yeah, each of these Layer 2 solutions kind of has some kind of weird little kink or something wrong, that is kind of a pain in the ass. And they're all trying to fix that, or fix each little quirk. So none of these Layer 2 solutions are totally perfect. Boba apparently is trying to fix this like 7-day waiting period that roll-ups kind of take in order to be able to completely finalize. Yeah, it shrinks the optimistic roll-up exit period from 7 days to only a few minutes while giving liquidity pools incentivized yield farming opportunities. Interesting. Boba's extensible smart contract will enable developers across the Ethereum ecosystem to build dApps that invoke code executed on a web-scale infrastructure, such as Amazon Web Services Lambda, making it possible to use algorithms that are either too expensive or impossible to execute on chain. Boba Network aspires to be the people's Layer 2 that puts users and developers first. The goal is to build a pragmatic L2 that is the first step towards opening Ethereum to the next billion users. Boba is an L2 Ethereum scaling and augmenting solution built by the Enya team as core contributors to the OMG Foundation. Enya, I didn't know she was into crypto. Bad joke. I don't think that Enya, the singer, is into crypto. Maybe she is. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's all right. That's all good. Yeah, Layer 2 solutions. Let's move on to something fun, honestly. So I've been seeing this meme quite a bit lately. And it looks like Wal-Mart is trying to break into the Metaverse sector. So yeah, when Walmart is in there, you've kind of hit. I don't know, man. Have you hit the top? Is that a top signal? Walmart jumping in and trying to hang with the kids. We don't know. More Betty White tribute. Okay, so let's go check out this article here while that loads. Facebook, Walmart, and how companies shouldn't set up in the metaverse. So yeah, we have the metaverse as this big new buzzword, and everybody's trying to jump in and get their fair share. Nike, is creating an offshoot called Artifact and creating apparel and stuff like that for the metaverse. Everybody's trying to jump their play on it. Pepsi and Coke are creating NFTs. And that's when you're just like shaking your head. You're going, oh my God, dude. Yeah, we've definitely hit the top. So Facebook, Walmart, and how companies shouldn't set up in the metaverse. Facebook's pivot to video, in quotes, destroyed businesses that went along. The metaverse could be a repeat act. Yeah. How do you do, fellow kids? A clip has been tearing its way around Twitter this week, showing a Walmart branded demonstration of shopping in the metaverse. Yeah, and I've been seeing all these memes, about shoplifting in the metaverse, about seeing inappropriate thongs in the produce aisle in the metaverse. about bumping somebody's carts who won't get out of your way in the metaverse. So reaction from Twitter users have been in a word, brutal. The demo was worse than current online shopping in literally every way, one said. At the most basic level, it would destroy the main benefit of shopping online, not having to navigate store aisles and shelves. Worse than current online shopping in literally every way. So someone commented, worse than current online shopping in literally every way, every way. I cannot understand people who pretend this is the future. And then somebody else said, you can't tell shareholders that you've already made e-commerce as good as it's going to get. You have to pretend that there's new possibilities for growth out there on the metaverse crypto blockchain. Think of how Twitter introduces new features nobody wants every year. And then somebody else said, I've often felt like shopping would be more enjoyable if I was accompanied by the floating ghost of a retail worker whose pronouncements are periodically drowned out by the hellish sounds of clanking machinery as the landscape spontaneously and bewilderingly changes around me. Yeah, man. Walmart is trying to come in and create this exact replica of an already terrible shopping experience. And I don't know of anybody that is like, I love going to Walmart. I've never heard that. I've never heard that phrase being uttered out of somebody's mouth. But there is an article. Let's see, where did it go? I miss RSS. What is Web 2.0 here? And this was written back in, I guess, 2009, and it's on O'Reilly.com, and they were trying to describe what Web 2.0 is. And I'm just finding some parallels here of what's going on now. So here they're comparing Netscape and Google, and I'll get back to Walmart here in a second. But so they said, if Netscape was the standard bearer for Web 1.0, Google is most certainly the standard bearer for Web 2.0, if only because their respective IPOs were defining events for each era. So let's start with a comparison of these two companies and their positioning. Netscape framed the web as a platform in terms of the old software paradigm. Their flagship product was the web browser, a desktop application, and their strategy was to use their dominance in the browser market to establish a market for high-priced server products. Control over standards for displaying content and applications in the browser would, in theory, give Netscape the kind of market power enjoyed by Microsoft in the PC market. Much like the horseless carriage framed the automobile as an extension of the familiar, Netscape promoted a web top to replace the desktop and planned to populate that web top with information updates and applets pushed to the web top by information providers who would purchase Netscape servers. In the end, both web browsers and web servers turned out to be commodities, and the value moved up the stack to services delivered over the web platform. And that's where Google came in. So, Walmart is trying to do the same thing. They're trying to bring the store into the metaverse instead of letting the metaverse create itself and become its own new entity and own new thing. They're just being like, oh, it's like a store, but it's like online. But it's not online like we have our current online. This is like a metaverse 3D store, and you get to like push a cart just like you do in our regular stores. So yeah, that's kind of that's yeah, it's an oversimplification, but yeah, it's kind of what's happening here, and it's really awkward. It's already, like I said, a terrible shopping experience, and Walmart is trying to replicate that shopping experience for people who are trying to get away from that shopping experience. So to be clear, so let's read more of this article here. To be clear, this isn't a new clip. It was produced for South by Southwest in 2017, and they're referring to that clip of somebody shopping in the metaverse on Walmart. And it was a promotional clip for South by Southwest back in 2017. So it has 2017, level graphics and stuff like that. So what's up, Everett Jones? So let's see here. It was produced for South by Southwest in 2017. Nonetheless, the video does capture the default approach as corporate America works frantically to show that it's ready for the metaverse. On the surface, the entire premise of this sort of nonsense is that people will enjoy and use inferior metaverse applications just because. 3D's cool, I guess. Certainly, there's no attention paid to what users actually want or need out of an online shopping experience. On the most basic level, why would you want to go to the trouble of designing a virtual Walmart that looks exactly like a physical Walmart? Shopping in a real Walmart is fairly awful. If you're in a 3D virtual world, maybe take advantage of the literally limitless possibilities to redesign the experience. Don't expect anything as various moribund and existentially terrified organizations trot out their metaverse applications. They're mostly going to be awful, in part of a lack of pure imagination. Remember, for instance, when newspapers got out on the web by posting what were essentially PDFs of their print pages. Yeah, nobody read that crap. More importantly, these efforts aren't really users in the first place. They're meant to dazzle investors, especially those in their 50s and above looking for public market opportunities to extract profit from the young people. That, of course, was the real point of Facebook's own rebranding as Meta. So we can't expect any better from the drooling dinosaurs who will inevitably fall into step behind Mark Zuckerberg's Pied Piper routine. And it's likely to end with them all cheerfully shambling off of a virtual cliff. That's exactly what happened with Facebook's embarrassing, disastrous pivot to video in 2015 to 2016. The site started telling news organizations to prioritize video, leading companies like Vice, Vocative, and Upworthy to fire print journalists and hire videographers in their place. Oh yeah, remember Upworthy? Vocative? If not, maybe it's because the pivot to video helped nudge them and other outlets further into bankruptcy and collapse by tanking page views. In fact, Facebook's video push cost hundreds of journalists their jobs, eventually including those newly hired videographers, and badly wounded dozens of news organizations. Partly that was because Facebook didn't understand its own audience and was wrong about the initial pivot. Partly is because Facebook then allegedly lied to content creators and advertisers about the views videos were receiving. And that is just a first draft. By pulling the rest of the tech world along with its farcical effort to sell VR headsets, Facebook is going to trick hundreds of potential competitors into wasting effort and capital on a fundamentally flawed idea. And that's kind of basically what Walmart is doing right here. Anyway, so yeah, I got this article from a post by the MGH DAO. And yeah, MGH DAO is the Meta Game Hub DAO, and they are doing metaverse content in the correct way. They are creating land valuation tools. They are buying land as a DAO, and as a DAO, figuring out what to do with said land that they buy. And here's a post right here, MGH News. You know, one of the links is the link I just showed you, Facebook, Walmart, and how companies shouldn't set up in the metaverse. And then another link here is investors gear up for the gold rush in metaverse. And this article talks about hardware, and I will link this in the video description. This is another good one that I don't have time to read. And then the third article is how brands can enter the metaverse the proper way, not how Walmart did. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff to consider. Speaking of Meta Game Hub DAO, I've been meaning to go ahead and stake some of my tokens up on Layer 2. Here's the Meta Game Hub website right here. You can swap the tokens on Uniswap. They provide liquidity. You can stake, and then here's their NFT pools that the DAO would own. And that's coming out soon, and then their land valuation tool. So I need to go ahead and just stake. You can stake on Ethereum right here. Or you can stake on Polygon. The price is pretty cheap on this token right now, so it might be a good buy if this is a project you're interested in. This is one of my projects. Yeah, I'm shilling my own project. Not my project, but I'm shilling my own bags. You know, like I talk about projects I like. So yeah, you don't have to if you don't like this project or whatever, if it doesn't fit with you. But you know, I'm talking about this because it's interesting to me, and this is my show. So here's MGH DAO. I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. Let's see here. Where did it go? Stake. Okay, Polygon staking, unbonded staking. I connected my wallet. Let me make sure that everything's good to go. Let me refresh this page. Okay, so approve MGH. And I'm approving my MetaMask wallet. So I do have some on Ethereum and I have some on Polygon, but I didn't really want to spend the gas in order to stake on Ethereum. So now that they have Polygon staking, it makes it super cheap to do. And yeah, so here I am approving the MGH token on this platform, and it's such a simple process, you know. If you aren't staking, I don't know what you're doing. You're just letting your tokens sit idle. So I mean, this is like 65% APY. No matter what you're holding, I think if you can, you should probably stake it. um, and let's see here. Let me let this website do its deal. And I thought I just approved this. I guess it's taking a second. Anyway, okay, so confirm that. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna continue doing this stuff and then go about my day. I'm working from home today, so yeah, I have a lot of other stuff I want to talk about, but I just don't have the time to talk about it on this episode. I just kind of wanted to talk about some Metaverse stuff and some Layer 2 solutions and stuff like that today. And yeah, kind of have an easygoing Tuesday. There's a lot of stuff happening. I'm getting ready for Dow Denver. I'm going to Dow Denver. And yeah, so, oh, hold on. Here I am. 25,000 MGH token. I will stake those MGH tokens. And as you can see here, current API is 63.07%. So yeah, I will earn 63% on those 25,000 tokens. Not bad. And I mean, I was just going to let them sit there anyway because I'm holding this token because I think it's going to be doing some great things because they've had partnerships with Ocean and they just set up and started running their Chainlink node. So yeah. All right. Well, that being said, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And yeah, I have a lot of more interesting trash and treasures to dig up this all throughout the rest of the week. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.